And welcome back to the 260, the podcast that brings you the exhilaration of the Spies Fieldhouse right to your speakers. We hope you've had an exciting day here at the Dive Back into the Action, reliving electrifying moments and celebrating the incredible legacy that has built within these walls. Buckle up and let's get ready for more spine-tingling stories from the Spies Fieldhouse. You, me, us, and them, we are the 260.
And yes, we are the 260. And wow, a couple of Jedi Knights with the marathoning, Dave. And it's so appropriate to have Rob coming up next now because we got to put the fuel back in, baby, don't we, Dave?
Well, when I first put my original list together, Rob was on. Right. I told you right off the bat, I wouldn't get Rob on.
Yeah. Yes.
But tonight is really a good night
because
we had Max on. If you listen to Max's story and you listen to the runner's story, they coexist.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And now we need Rob to get him healthy.
And Rob's kind of that secret sauce, aren't you, Rob, from Health Kick? Rob Dillon from Health Kick, because you know what? You don't realize, like, with the marathons, everything it takes out of them. And then obviously with Max, you mentioned it, the bodybuilding. So pick up right there, Rob. How important is it with Health Kick and being able to get those proper supplements, man?
I tell you, it fills in all the gaps that we can't reach dietary-wise. And sometimes that's limitations from timing. We all work full-time jobs. We try to train afterwards. I hope to make it to the gym at 10 o'clock at night sometimes. It's just a reality. Whereas other people, they like to do that 6 a.m. run in the morning. I mean, so where we come into play is that we can help somebody like Max bulk up.
Yeah.
We can help him tone back down for his show coming up.
Yes.
And then on the runner side, everything from the hydration, you had mentioned trying to eat the apple, all that lactic acid build up. I'm over there crying my eyes out.
I wanted that apple.
You needed some beta alanine. Let's get that lactic acid out of there.
Is that what did I need?
Beta alanine.
There you go, Sonar. That's knowledge. That's why I love Rob.
That's a $7 word for
When
the
he said he was over there crying, I bet he was just like, why didn't you come to me?
I should have, man. I was too busy like slapping hands and being a, dare I say it, being a jackass on the first 16 miles out, and all of a sudden I got, good Lord, I had a sense of humor that day with me.
Yeah.
But man, it's so important. And you know what, Rob? Speak to this. I work out most days, but then sometimes I get a little bit confused. I mean, do I need that protein shake after I work out? What should I be taking? I mean, is intermittent fasting a good idea? I do a lot of that. Mm-hmm. I'm always trying to figure out, like, should I be taking that selenium so I can absorb the supplements? Mm-hmm. But that's the thing that I think a lot of us struggle with is, like,
where
just
to start.
Where to start, and a guy like you with the knowledge.
Yeah, I tell you, I get people in all day at Health Kick, and so, I got a whole store full of fun stuff, but we have to tailor what you need.
Sure.
We ask the questions. We see what your goals are. What have you done? What do you want to do? And there's so many different options, to answer your question like the protein shake. Food is best. Get the chicken breast, get the broccoli, get the rice. Where the protein shake comes into play is as another alternative to the food. Sometimes, like I said, you can't get it made fast enough.
Sure.
There's ready to drink shakes. There's one shake that we like to do. It's 120 calories, 25 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar. So it's just some more protein. Now, what we don't want you to do is 2 shakes in a row or become dependent on the supplements.
Gotcha.
We want you to
still eat.
get the chicken, the salmon, whatever, anything.
Right.
If you're a vegetarian, go that route.
How soon after you work out? I'm done working out. What is the ideal time to put the fuel back in, Rob?
I tell you, I'm old school. I like the 30 minutes.
Interesting, Dave. 30 minutes on our. Yeah.
There's some new schools of thought out there that as long as your overall daily 24-hour intake is good, you're safe. And I think it really comes down to listening to your body. For me, I can do cardio and high-intensity stuff in the morning fasted, speaking of your intermittent fasting, but I sure as heck can't power lift. And so my background is all powerlifting. So I have to be fueled. It takes me 8-10 hours of throughout the day to fuel to be able to do the heavy lifting. And the trade-off is I've been pretty much injury-free my entire career. And
That's impressive, because that's the biggest thing now is trying to recover from the injuries.
So
Absolutely.
you've had knee problems.
I tore him. I had a partial tear. You know what? Really flattened me, and maybe you can speak a little bit to this. I had COVID pneumonia, and spent 17 days up at the ICU at Lutheran. And when I came back, it's just like there's so many injuries. I mean, I swear, I told the doctor, I said I got a partial tear on my meniscus. It happened from COVID pneumonia. They said, no, it didn't happen. I said, yeah, it did. I said, they blasted me with a bioweapon. You know what I mean? But you've probably seen some of that COVID long haul, and you probably
long haulers. Yeah.
I mean, what are some of the things that we're missing? And I mean, obviously in this area of the country, you hear so much about vitamin D.
Right.
But with like somebody like me who has COVID long haul. What are some of the ideas?
I'd say some of the ideas is that the virus is still working on you, and so it kind of goes back to some of the basics. It's the zinc, it's the quercetin, it's maybe some elderberry, things just to give your bodies the ability to help continue to fight it off. We see a lot with, you had mentioned, kind of the injuries. What we see with the pneumonia is you feel like you can't get your wind back.
That's been an issue too. Yeah.
That can be, some mullein. It can help bring that back, or cordyceps. It's mushroom good for overall endurance. So there's definitely some things that have shown some promise, but it can take a while.
What I like about what you're talking about is you're using food as medicine.
Yeah.
And you're turning around and saying, instead of taking the supplements, instead of popping a bunch of pills because you've got a list of things you've got to hit, you're saying, here's a list of foods that have those things. Now, is there a difference in, because I mean, when you work out, when you move, you're using energy, but you're also breaking down.
Right.
Is there a difference between food you eat for energy and food you need to eat to recover?
So from a recovery standpoint, we usually talk about the protein and amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein, what makes everything up. Now, for like lean muscle mass, there's glutamine is the most abundant amino acid in your body. It's also very good for overall digestion. And then your branched chain amino acids, which are isoleucine, leucine, and valine. So those four are really what helps with the muscle retention, the soreness, the recovery, the muscle growth. My little rule is, if you work out on Monday, it's good to be sore. Usually 24 hours later, and then maybe for 48 hours. But if you lift hard Monday and you're still sore Thursday, bam, that tells me you're missing something.
Yeah.
You need some more food. You need some more aminos. You need a shake. Let's fill those gaps in.
So you use it to build, you use it to clean, and you use it to energize.
Pretty much, from a. The difference is the amounts.
Okay.
Like for instance, like a protein shake. The one that we like, I would give to my 98-year-old grandmother, and I'd give to my 4-year-old daughter.
Really, the same protein shake?
Same shake, not same serving.
Okay.
Interesting, Sonar.
So the ingredient-wise, it's clean for everybody, but we're not double scooping grandma. We're not double scooping my 4-year-old. So with that being said, the calorie intake is really what it comes down to. That's where the bulk, the cut, that's what comes into play. It's all numbers. I mean, it's calories. So we don't usually get into how I approach it is we can cut out what I'd call the obvious carbs, the simple sugars, the energy drinks, which is a whole other subject that we can touch on. Candy, there's a time and place for it, but not Tuesday at 1 a.m. It's
so no peanut butter, no peanut M&Ms at midnight when you're watching
everybody about these streaming services, and he's like, the popcorn, and the candy. And
that's why Rob's here.
3 o'clock in the morning.
When people come in and they talk to you, Rob, and because I'd like to bring my supplements in and come and talk to you. What's the biggest thing that you see people are missing? Is it the vitamin D in this area, or is it something else?
Certainly vitamin D in this area. You know, I've always read that the two main areas that miss out the most vitamin D is Arizona and us. So
Arizona. How does Arizona
They're
miss out?
inside.
It's too hot.
inside.
They're in the air conditioning.
Wow.
They're in air conditioning.
That's fascinating, Sonar.
They can't go outside until it's night.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then of here, just because, the gray days. So we, being in customer service for 20-some years, you see a change in people's attitudes come, like February, March. It's the winter blues, but it's vitamin D.
Wow. Just that
part of
simple.
it, at least. Yeah. Can be.
Rob, one of the, like I said, is just the stars aligned tonight for you to be on here. But I also wanted you to come on and talk because sectionals are starting to wrap up.
Yeah.
Baseball, school's wrapping up. So a lot of our male athletes and women athletes, they'll be doing their summer travel.
Yeah.
And then they'll be doing their football conditioning when it's, they're running 7 days a week.
There's no off season anymore,
No.
it seems like.
So, I mean, these baseball tournaments start on Wednesday now. Wednesday, Thursday, and go through Sunday. Then they come back and they try to do conditioning, football conditioning, up until Wednesday or Thursday. I want you to talk what these kids need to be getting into them so they stay hydrated, so they don't cramp, so they come fall,
These kids
they're
are
ready.
already hungry to begin with. I remember this guy over here, I'm sure as a teenager, 6 sandwiches a day.
Well, I could eat, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could have used Rob in my life, but I don't know if it's good. Knock him back.
Joe, what's the kid from Northrop 2 years ago, the running back? He cramped. I mean, he had severe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did.
I mean,
he
your
was out for
season,
3
not
weeks.
Careful, yeah.
Yeah, come August and football season, cramping's a big issue.
So
what's
what's these kids? I see you brought some product. What's
Yeah. Well, first off, turn off the streaming devices and go to bed.
Sleep.
Drink your water. From a recovery standpoint, there's going back to the glutamine for one.
Okay.
I brought one. It's called Alpha Recovery. It's now this one isn't for every high school athlete because of the creatine aspect, and that's a.
What do you feel about? I mean, not to interrupt you.
No.
What's your thoughts on creatine?
Obviously, it's a big thing. So creatine is something that our body actually recognizes. It's the most studied supplement of our lifetime. The college university studies.
Really interesting.
Yeah. It's in some foods or it's in our bodies. We're just looking to supplement some additional. The problem is the typical high school athlete is not hydrated enough. Going back to the cramping.
So is that when you take the creatine, if you're not hydrated enough, you kind of swell almost?
Yeah. So
you
it's
had
drawing
that-
some water into the muscles, and so it can, there are some issues. Again, it's not for everybody. But the protein shake can be, the electrolytes can be, amino acids can be. There's no stimulants, there's no caffeine that we're talking about. There's no hormone effects, anything like that. And so something like this is protein, carbs, glutamine, creatine, and amino acids. So it's your all-in-one shake.
It's all in one, huh?
All in one. Yep. And that can be done. Just mixed with water after the workout within that 30-minute window is kind of my
Sure,
belief.
sure.
And
I've
this
always operated on.
replaces a full meal.
Depends.
Okay.
So if you got somebody, coach told me I need to put on 10 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't replace a meal.
Yeah.
It's something to add into the
Something
day.
to add to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a 13-year-old stepson who's a good football player, but he's just so thin. So we got to do push-ups at night, but we got to put like some type of protein shake in before. Is that what
Yeah.
you'd recommend? Something like that before he goes to
So
bed, or am I crazy?
So even for him, like what did I brought? Maybe like what I keep referring to as the plain protein shake. This with oatmeal and peanut butter, blend it all up.
Interesting.
Now,
Peanut butter.
Wow.
Yeah.
An oatmeal, huh? Now,
An
why
oatmeal.
why the oats, Rob?
some carbs, some fiber, some calories, and it's going to keep him lean, but start to bulk up some.
Put some size on.
Yep. And then also available in in any health food store is going to be more of the weight gainer shake. Now, my pet peeve with those are there's some that not the ones that we carry are going to be say 600 calories or greater, 100 and some carbs, but still only 10, 12 grams of sugar.
Gotcha.
So my pet peeve being is that some of them, it might be 1,000 calories, which is entirely too much for your 13-year-old son
Yeah.
at once.
That was going to be a question.
Yeah.
What age group are we talking about?
So, whoops. So this one, the easy answer is, the 18 plus. That transition from high school to college. The baseball players, football players that are.
And then the marathoners we had on, Sam and Tom. Would they do well? Would a marathoner
They
do well
would.
with that? Really?
Yeah. So
Interesting.
the creatine helps out with muscle stamina, endurance, strength.
Okay.
So it's not just for the person trying to bulk up. It can be beneficial for somebody who is just looking for general health, looking for more reps. It's something, and it's pretty impactful pretty quickly too.
Sure. Interesting.
Yeah, one of the questions I always ask a nutritionist when I sit down is, sure, we have all of these different things that we can eat, but if there was one, let's say, soylent that we had to eat every day or something like that, is there something that's out there like these Huels or Soylents or anything like that are complete meal replacements, essentially? Do you still need something outside? Because obviously you can't just drink. Me, efficiency all day. If I had a bar or a shake, then that was it. Here you go. Drink 4 of these a day, and you're a healthy person. I would go towards that.
I've seen it
But you're
fail
saying-
every time.
But you're saying you have
You see
to
it
have
fail
those
every
other
time.
things.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even want anybody to do 2 shakes in a row.
Yeah.
No.
I want you to eat.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a peanut butter sandwich, maybe it's some crackers and peanuts, whatever. But we have teeth, use them.
So my question for fair enough. Fair enough.
260.
Right there,
That's a
you got-
T-shirt right there. You hear that, Denise? We have teeth. Use them.
So my question always for a nutritionist is, wouldn't the best thing for somebody to eat would be another healthy person?
Right.
Because that person, just logically, I'm not saying I'm going around.
That's sonar.
grinding people
That's
up.
so
I'm just
sonar,
saying
man.
logically, if there's another healthy person over there that has every single vitamin and everything else in their body, if I was just to eat that person, is that the healthiest thing I should be eating?
There are people
or are you
who
saying
do-
broccoli all the way?
I'm going to throw some salmon in there, I think.
Okay,
But,
okay.
and there is a whole other school of thought with the organ meats.
Okay.
Like
liver.
That's been big. Now, speaking of organ meat, talk about that with the people that just, go the route where they just eat the meat. I mean,
the carnivore diets.
Yeah, the carnivore diet's been a
Yeah.
lot of talk. What are your thoughts like that?
I tell
you
you,
need the carbs to help out.
What's your thoughts,
you
Rob?
definitely have to get some fats in there. I mean, your brain is made of fat. I mean, you need some DHA. There are, for that person though, whoever there's that one, is it Jordan Peterson?
Yeah, that talked about that. And then Joe Rogan, I think, did it for a month.
They say it's helped him out quite a bit.
Can't stand on it long term, though.
Right.
Yeah, I've
it's
gone
just short term.
keto before,
Yeah.
and that's helped me lose some weight
Uh-huh.
before. But I didn't completely cut out carbs.
Yeah.
'Cause, I
Right.
mean, I like my sugars like I like my women, complex.
You better hope. Crystal, you're not watching, are you?
That's what I mean. Is
You have some explaining to
have
do as you
have
roll
just
down
a little
30.
bit. I mean, I've
Yeah.
always been taught, even in the Navy, moderation.
Yeah.
Moderation is always key.
That's exactly to kind of touch on even like from a weight loss standpoint, you can eat about whatever. It's just not whatever amount. And so really
Back to
overall,
grandma getting 2 scoops.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the quantity control. Look at here in Fort Wayne. How do we judge a restaurant? Dude, they gave us so much food for our money.
The bread, man.
Yeah.
Those breadsticks, man.
Yeah,
Are just, That's
yeah.
what I got to tell my boy when we go over to Texas Roadhouse. I'm like, easy, man. You keep eating all those biscuits, they're gonna put that black tape on your helmet. That's what I always tell them, Dave. I say, you better slow down. You're gonna be on the line. You're gonna be on the line. But Rob, I get up in the morning, I work out. I intermittent fast. I have my first meal at 1:30, 2 o'clock. I eat 3 eggs and some steak. And then I might have a protein shake at about 4. And I come back and maybe eat dinner at 7 and try to cut it off. What do you think of that plan?
I like it. How do you feel? Feel good?
I feel good. When I can
There you
stick
go.
to it, I feel pretty good. And honestly, it does not bother me. I've never been a breakfast guy. I mean, it does not bother me at all not to eat till
Well, it sounds like you're
1:30.
having
And there's
breakfast for lunch is what it sounds like.
yeah, well, I guess that's true as far as steak and eggs.
yeah.
But a lot of people are like, man, Joe, you got to eat every 2 or 3 hours. And I'm just not. I don't know, man. Because I was told when I played college football, they talked a lot about how you needed to clear out your digestive tract. That was I was always kind of told that was important. But you hear so many different things.
Yeah, I tell you, I have two friends in particular that they get a little throw uppy in the morning if they don't get their breakfast in. So
so maybe it's just different body types.
Body types
Oh, you
are
gotta
all
have
different.
you gotta have your breakfast. Yeah, people,
Now
I guess.
now I may skip lunch and maybe have something a little bit
So it's
later.
maybe, so are you
at
talking
night,
maybe
but-
body types? Just
a little bit of body types.
Yeah.
I'm with you,
yeah.
Joe. I don't eat breakfast.
I don't eat breakfast, man. I just, that was
You guys are
something
missing out.
I always forced myself to eat breakfast, and I was just like forcing in the oatmeal and the eggs and all that, and
Yeah.
I've just kind of done a little better.
tell you,
backing off
Charlotte
it.
and she'll want to eat breakfast for dinner, and I'm like, that's a no-no. 10:30's
When have
10:30 is the cutoff.
then?
What are you, McDonald's at your house?
McDonald's, that's right.
Hours, yeah.
That's exactly the cutoff of it.
With the intermittent fasting, if you're only eating for 8 hours, it's hard to overeat and get fat.
Yeah, totally.
And so
That's kind of how I control it, because
Yeah.
I eat I eat the first meal, the steak and eggs, and if I lose control a little bit at like 7 o'clock, I handle it a little better than just knocking it out all day long. That's
Yeah.
kind of how I.
We've always heard of metabolism as kind of like a furnace or an engine
Yeah,
or
yeah.
a
Joe, how do you
fire.
during
how would
season?
you
How do you
describe it?
when
Is
you're
it-
working until 1 o'clock
Pretty much.
in the morning? How you?
That's
not-
the biggest
how you
challenge,
not
because
eating?
that's the biggest challenge is when I'm doing my financial season. I'm good. Like right now, intermittent fasting and eating in that 6-hour window right now is no problem for me. But boy, oh boy, when I just finished that corporate tax return at
That
11:30
Diet Coke and-
11:30 p.m. on a Tuesday night, I'm like an old dog. I need a treat. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't go down to the gas station. You don't need to go to the gas station and go buy yourself 2 donuts. Come on, have some
Yeah,
self-control.
right.
You're right. That's the hardest thing. And if you
Yeah.
can stick to it, though, your body, and talk
Yeah.
about this, Rob, your body can really begin to adapt, can it?
For sure. And so, people will start running a new, I hate to use the word diet, but a new way of eating, and they're so quick to give up because it can
Yeah.
be difficult.
It can be.
It takes a good 3 days just to get acclimated. Not even saying it works in 3 days, but just to
Sure.
get acclimated to the schedule. Moving on from there, for any true change, I hate to say it, but you're 3 months.
Yeah.
Now, you'll get results along the way, by all means.
That's the habit. That's kind of
Yeah.
isn't there a book, Sonar, where it takes a certain amount of time to really
Yeah.
pick up a habit?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's 27 days.
Yeah,
to-
so that's
to
kinda
pick
what
up
you're
a
talking
habit.
about,
Yeah,
huh?
same idea.
Now, how can people get a hold of you? And like, can I bring my supplements in and show you what I'm doing? And
Yeah.
I mean, are you offer that for
Yeah,
people?
yeah,
Come in.
yeah.
What do you guys take? Because I also take iodine.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know how you feel
absolutely.
about that. I
Yeah.
have a little bit of iodine every
Thyroid
single
health,
day.
yeah.
Yep. I kind of manage the thyroid and the iodine. I feel like the iodine also helps with it's brain food to me.
Absolutely. Yep. So we have 4 stores around Fort Wayne. I'm on DuPont and Coldwater Road.
Okay.
I have an awesome team. If I'm not there, we're open
Kiana's
10 to
there.
8. Kiana's
Kiana's there. Yeah, I like Kiana.
Derek,
Yeah,
Jesus,
Derek, yeah.
and then Carly's sometimes there. West Jefferson, awesome. Dan Morris is there.
Yeah.
Keegan.
Sure.
And then Kiana will be there sometimes as well.
Float back and forth.
Yep. And then
Maysville.
State Road 37 out of Maysville. David is there. Georgetown would be Mike Smithson. So
Now-
we have a great team.
With your powerlifting and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
and with your background, the supplements and helping people, do you feel like that was kind of your journey? Like you kind of found what you really,
I tell you,
the
my-
ability to help people and
Yeah.
say,
Tell what you said before, what you went to school for.
Oh, yeah. So my little snapshot is I got my first gym membership when I was 16. Before I even had a car. I didn't know what I was doing. I was lifting chest every day because
oh yeah, that's the fun
what we all
day,
do.
man. Chess is the fun day, man. That's the easy day now,
So at the time, unfortunately, my parents had both gone through some major health issues. My dad's parents died when they were 52, 55. My dad's first heart attack was at 43.
Oh my gosh! So you had the pressure of having,
Yeah.
So you had, man, God bless you, brother. So you
Yeah.
really had to
I was
dig in and
thrown
think
into
about.
it.
So he's
Wow.
he don't want to be that number.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
was really, so you really had that in your face.
Yep,
Wow.
yeah. Open heart surgery at 47.
Wow.
Yeah, and then passed at 66. So
I'm sorry, man.
that I actually went to school for. I have a bachelor's in criminal justice, public affairs through IU,
Wow.
and interviewed terribly. I for local police, and then did well with ATF, but
Yeah.
relocation, and it just wasn't my journey. And I had met one of the Morris brothers working out, and asked to join in on the bench press, and 22 years later, here I am, still.
That's great.
Yeah, I've been
Isn't that
associated with
something?
them. Yeah.
that's-
And then
man.
So,
Wow.
my background is powerlifting. It's been a minute since I competed, but
Dan was a bodybuilder himself.
Yep.
Wow. It's that discipline, man.
It's always it's good to have a goal.
Yeah.
And
true.
it's we've all been in that rut anywhere in life where you just kind of feel like you're in cruise control, whether it be at work or in life. And
Sure.
I've really learned the last so many months is that I got about 3 big sections of my life. I got work life, home life, workout life. And it's really hard to get all 3 to peak at the same time.
Wow. That's
And,
well said.
And we all know the one that can't suffer, and that's the home life. I got
it's the balance.
4 daughters, a wife, a mom, a niece that all live with me. So
Wow, your mom and your niece live with you?
yeah.
Wow, man.
That's why we're here. Help
Impressive,
people.
man.
Yeah.
Impressive.
So, like I said, I've been at DuPont since 2005, health kick, and I can't
So we
imagine
can just
doing
come
anything.
in. We can just come in and meet with the people, bring our supplements,
Yep.
and get some ideas. Because I'm interested in,
And we'll probably tell you to buy less.
really buy less, huh?
Well, because we see a lot of people
Just taking too much of stuff.
taking weird things or dumb things or overlapping.
I think that could be
being
too, because-
oversold somewhere else,
Yeah.
or
He's pushing
read it
these roast
online,
vegetables
or-
too, man. He wants you to get rid of your supplements. You take vegetables into work.
Joe,
That's it. I know you cringe at that, but I'll tell
The
you.
greens, man. I hear you, Sonar. Get your greens,
with
man.
your stepson being at 13, high school's going to be here in 2 years.
Oh, I know. That's the other thing that I would like to. I feel like I just want to feed them protein shakes, but I feel like I should go talk to somebody like Rob or a professional that has the knowledge and say, okay, here he is. This is what he looks like. This is kind of the stuff that I take. Guide me, Rob, because you got to be. I mean, I take a lot of supplements and stuff, but sometimes I think to myself, slow down a little bit, Joe. Do you need this? So I feel like it's what I like about with what Rob's offering is to go in there and talk to him and say, hey, man, I've got this, and this, and this, and this. This is what I'm doing. What about my 13-year-old son? What should we be doing?
So here's what the beauty of Health Kick is compared to the corporate chains.
Yeah.
These guys live it every day. They know their product
Sure.
inside and out.
Yeah, that's what makes it
And
attractive,
they,
huh?
They deal with the 260.
And it's just so appropriate tonight to have,
Hell,
have.
I put Landon Livingston with Rob when he was in high school.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at that! That worked out real good, didn't it? Wow.
Yeah. We worked with some.
The dancing bear shouts out.
We've worked with some athletes all through high school. Carroll to Catholic school up in Notre Dame on through. So
What's that one athlete or that one story that you really kind of puff your chest out, you're excited about, that you
I
felt
got a
like,
good
you know
one.
what,
I got a good
I
one.
really made a difference for this kid, and I think I
You
really.
was talking about Tranquil right there.
Yeah. So I had this dad that was coming in. His son at the time was middle school, and he's like, now he's swimming. I just, we need to get him a little extra. So it wasn't about putting on weight or losing weight. It was just staying healthy in the pool. And so what we started on with one of the higher calorie protein shakes. At the time, it was Real Gain. So they don't make it anymore. But I liked it because it was 600 calories, 88 carbs, 52 protein, 5 grams of sugar. So and it mixed it up as thin as a regular protein shake. So user friendly. It's just being revamped under a new name right now. Anyway, so I'm gonna fast forward. The dad says, whatever you do, just keep your son. Keep if you ever have kids, keep your kids out of the pool. Just because he was joking about the time commitment. And all that.
Yeah, sure.
So fast forward, he's still coming in, and I get talking to him and say, how's Joe doing? He's doing good. He's going to college. He's gonna swim. Okay. Next time, he's swimming. Where's he going? Well, he got a full ride to Yale.
Oh my! Yeah. I see you, Rob.
Yeah. Just what an awesome, humble dude.
How good did that feel for you?
Oh, fantastic! And
Man, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
He's still the son still comes in. Awesome guy. He just moved to Japan for a job in the last year, and is all nervous where he's going to get his stuff. And
That's gotta be so rewarding for you.
Yeah.
You can ship across the
Yeah. I got a guy that can ship it. Yeah. So that's been. I share that. I love sharing that story.
Like to your point, Joe, you were saying about just going to find a subject matter expert. You don't do your own plumbing.
That's why I got.
You don't do your own.
That's why I need Rob.
So why are you trying to feed yourself based on, because it bodies your temple, right?
Yeah, right. Gotta do it. Yep.
Want to do it? Go to a subject matter expert.
I tell you, Google, YouTube can be an awesome tool, but there's a lot of junk out there too.
Oh man, you can get so put off the wrong path,
Yeah.
and that's like when I was talking to Max Coffee. I mean, I find myself doing some of the same workouts.
Yep.
I find myself taking the same supplements, and just I think a chance to
the same old wives' tales too.
I know, and that's why I
Yeah,
think I'm going to
yeah.
come out and see Rob. I really need to, because I also need to just, you get a little bit older too, man. Hey, man, what do you think now? What is this the right combination? Help me with my stepson who's 13. I have a son who's 10. I mean, so we're a little ways out with that, but I'd like to come
He'll
see
be
you.
there quick, Joe.
Yeah, he's gonna be a big kid. I tell you what, I keep telling him, easy on the biscuits. You're gonna get that black tape on your helmet. But no, Rob, I think everybody out there who's because a lot of people, with what Dave and I have done with Sonar and Denise and Charlene, a lot of people like to watch the podcast back.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that it's really worthwhile. I'm gonna do it to come and see you and say, look, I'm just going to spread it all out, man.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is what I'm doing. What am I wrong? What am I right? And I think you made a great point that I've thought often. Am I overlapping, Sonar?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just getting too much of stuff.
Let's be efficient. You're efficient with your money. You're efficient
Correct.
with
Efficient.
everything. Efficient. We have to be efficient with our time. And let's
See, I've never put
maximize the
efficient
time
with
in the gym.
I've never
Yeah.
put efficiency together with supplements,
Yeah.
but that's a great point.
Or even with food in general. People turn
Yeah.
around and they say,
Yeah.
I'm hungry. What's around me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that planning. It's because what does all efficiency start with? It starts with a good plan. To
Correct.
Start out.
Correct.
And you go to a subject
That's-
matter expert over at Health Kick, and they're able to give you that plan, a tailored plan, instead of just whatever you heard on TikTok about drinking apple cider in the morning.
Right. Which is gross.
Yeah,
Apple cider vinegar.
Beneficial.
Yeah,
Beneficial.
apple
you
but-
cider
talk about
vinegar.
Breakfast. The boss lady's trying to get me to do apple cider in the morning.
Apple cider vinegar. They have those
ruined my
gummies.
whole breakfast.
I've been doing those gummies a little bit. I put one of those apple cider vinegar gummies in my mouth. Man, I was like, it was like, what?
It's supposed to be great for you. But I'll tell you,
Man, I couldn't swallow that fast enough,
Yeah.
Sonar. That was like, man, I was like,
we settled with lemon juice. We
woo,
were like, okay,
man,
let's
Dave,
settle
you
with
wanna,
something
yeah.
like
I
that.
tell you what, you talk about it.
Well, I think
what's-
you could go on forever. We need to wrap this up.
Nah, no, you know what, Sonar, I tell you what, tonight, Sonar always keeps us on track real good. I got to apologize a little bit, but you know what? It just felt like such an important night.
Oh,
I mean, with Max Coffee coming up with his, with his Hoosier Flex, we're excited about Max, and the Hercules with the nutrition and fitness, and obviously two amazing marathoners.
That's why we're here.
I
Highlight
wanted
the
to,
260.
and I wanted to
Why
go
we're here.
slow with Sam and Tom because the stories. But it's so good to have you here, man.
Appreciate the invite.
To finish up with you,
Thank you very much.
is just so key. So Rob Dillon from Health Kick Nutrition. Before I give it to you, Sonar, how about the social media? Where can people find you and some of that?
Go Health Kick.
Go Health
Across
Kick.
the board, yeah.
GoHealthKick.com.
GoHealthKick.com, and then
Okay.
on the Instagram, Go Health Kick.
Okay.
And go Health Kick on Twitter.
And Twitter, and even TikTok too.
Yep.
Oh, great. As we wrap up another thrilling episode of the 260, I want to express our sincere gratitude to you, incredible listeners, and of course, the Speece Fieldhouse for being our inspiration
Yes.
here. Remember to visit SpeeceFieldhouse.com to discover the world-class facilities and exciting events hosted at this legendary venue. Stay connected with us on social media by following at the 260. Remember, that is an O for the latest updates, behind-the-scenes moments, and upcoming episodes. Thank you, everybody who sat here at the table. Thank you, everybody behind the camera. And thank you very much, Ben and Denise and everybody who works behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
You, me, us, and them, we are the 260.
Yeah, baby.